And then we'll get started on our backs. So however it's comfortable for you to lay down on your back. Legs can take any shape. You could add a support like a pillow or a blanket folded underneath of your head. And once you're comfortably on your back, I invite you to place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Take your time to get there, and once you do, allow this to be comfortable. Allow the elbows to be heavy. Maybe you're on the side of the belly and the side of the chest, that's okay. And before we change anything at all, we come to a presence with what is inside of us now. What is vibrating and circulating within us. Letting your own hands on your body signify a sense of support. The acknowledgement that you are always here for you. Whatever you need, whatever love, care, nourishment. You can access that with your own sense of touch and intention. And with your hands on your belly and chest, start to notice where your breath seems to go. You might notice that one or both hands lift with your inhale and lower with your exhale. And you might notice which hand lifts first. And which hand lowers first. And we're playing the role of witness here. So there is no judgment, no expectation about what should be happening in the breath, just an awareness of what is happening. You might not notice any movement at all, or maybe one hand, there's little movement. Now we'll start to bring some consciousness and intention into where our breath goes first. So as you inhale, allow your bottom hand to lift the belly, and then the top hand to lift the chest. Pausing on full, and through your nose, allow the top hand to lower first down through the chest, and the lower hand to lower. Good. So we're creating a belly and chest breath, filling the bottom of the lungs first and emptying the top of the lungs. And start to breathe in this way a few more rounds. Releasing any tension in your jaw, any holding in the feet or outer hips. And on your next inhale, pause on full. Sip in another A bit of breath, really fill from the inside, and then through your mouth, sigh it out. Release your hands, take a moment for yourself. Notice how you feel. And then find the great stretch, reaching arms overhead, pointing and flexing the feet. Maybe stretching through the right fingers and right toes, the left fingers and left toes. Pause here for a couple of breaths. And then reaching both hands, both feet, bring your knees to your chest and rock side to side. You might add little organic movement, either independent knee circles or keeping the knees together, whichever feels best for your lower back. It might be even more dynamic, finding a twist from left to right. Just notice what you need right now. If you're tracing circles with knees, then go the other direction. A few more breaths here to play. And then bring your right knee into your chest, left foot to the earth, or extend it long, your choice. Good. Wherever you are, flex both feet and really press down through your left heel as you draw your right knee towards your armpit. Good. Point and flex both feet and circle your toes and try and move slowly, like the air around you was very thick, like cool water. And with your circles, go the other direction. Keep hugging in your right knee and pressing down through your left heel gently. And then release your right knee and switch sides. Again, move slowly like the air was thick around you, or like you're moving through slow motion. Good. Hugging left knee toward armpit. Reach through your right heel or just press it down to the earth if your foot is there. And flex and point both feet. See if you can spread and squeeze your toes, alternating, spreading the toes wide and then drawing them together as you point and flex your feet. Good. Organic movement with the feet, maybe make circles. Warming up ankle joints, finding mobility in the feet. Good. Bring both knees to your chest and bring them wider than your rib cage. So knees toward armpits. And gently rock side to side, pulling on one knee to rock one way, pulling on the other knee to rock the other. And pause in stillness, release your hands from your knees and place them down on the earth beside you. Something underneath of your head if your chin is pointing way up toward the ceiling. You want the chin to be kind of neutral here and the neck and upper back to be relaxed. Good. Flex your feet, spread your toes, and kick one foot up toward the ceiling, and then switch. We'll just alternate kicking here. Little hamstring stretch, so straightening the leg as much as you feel a stretch through the back side of your legs. Start to find a little abdominal support. Bottom two ribs down, belly button up and in. When you're ready, even both sides and then stretch both legs up long and give yourself a little massage around the hips, around the knees. You could do both hands to one knee and then switch sides. You could make soft fists and kind of wrap on the sides of the thighs. Spreading the legs a little bit, come to the inner thighs. Backs of the thighs if you can reach. And see if you can come all the way up the shins. Little bend in the knees is fine. Little pats on the calves. Going up as high as you can, perhaps to ankles, maybe toes. And then come all the way back down. Good. Bring both legs together. You can keep a bend in your knees for your lower back. Or if you're feeling pretty strong in your core, you can straighten your legs, squeeze the inner thighs. So either bent knees or straight legs. Arms overhead, take an inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower your heels down. Keep the lower back flat against the earth. At any point, bend your knees. See how slow you can go. And then drop the heels, great stretch. Inhale deep. Full exhale, sigh it out. Good. And if you have a block, make sure it's in reaching distance. Just set it to the side and bring your feet to the earth. And so we'll find a little bit of core work here. Again, we'll bring both legs to straight. So I can demonstrate for you if you want to keep your feet to the earth for now, that's fine. And we'll do opposite hand towards your foot. You can just touch your shin. So for me, it's right hand, left shin. And touching that, I'm kind of squeezing my hand and my leg against one another. And then opposite legs descend down. So left arm reaches up and over, right foot down, kind of like a half great stretch. Both legs and feet back to center. And then we'll switch side. For me, left hand, right shin. And then right hand and left leg descend and reach. Good, you can keep going. It's kind of like a cross crawl. An option to use your block, grabbing your block, touch it to your opposite shin and keep going. Once your other leg meets, then you just switch sides. Good, we'll do 3 more on each side. Keep the feet engaged. Keep your core working. Feel that the bottom ribs in your back are grounded to the earth. Find your breath, 1 more round. Evening out both sides, bring your legs up to meet your block or your hands. Press your hands and legs together for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, bend your knees, feet down and wide as your mat. Rock your knees side to side. Big breath in. Pause on full and sigh it out. Good, let's pause with our knees to the left, reaching your arms out in a T. Knees are to the left, option to bring left ankle on top of the right thigh. Relaxing the back of your right shoulder down. If left ankle on top of right thigh feels intense on your knee in any way, then come back to feet down. 3 more breaths. Bring your knees back to center. Before we go to the other side, we'll take teepee pose, adjusting your hips to square. Let your feet be wide and knees knock together. Gaze at the ceiling directly overhead, and then find the uppermost corners of your vision. Keep your head exactly where it is, but just look up and to the right and to the left. And keep toggling between those, just gazing upward, almost like you're trying to gaze at the wall behind you. And turning gaze right to left. We're not looking for strain, we're just looking to bring our vision upward, which is something that a lot of us probably aren't doing a lot because we're looking down at screens, we're looking down at phones, down at books. So just turning our gaze upward can actually impact our brain function, our balance, coordination, and even the engagement of muscles. And take a couple more passes left to right with your gaze. And then bring your gaze back to center and blink a few times. Good. If it feels good, you can close your eyes and roll your eyes around in a big circle with the lids closed. Go the opposite direction. You might notice you feel like a stretch somewhere in the eyes if you gaze at a certain point around that circle. Good. Again, pause your movement with your eyes, blink a few times, and with feet wide, knees to the right. Good. Arms even can reach out in their T, feel a stretch anywhere from shoulders to fingertips. Option, right foot on top of left thigh. Three deep belly breaths. When you're ready, releasing any binds with the feet, legs to center. Bring your knees to your chest, either rock side to side or back and forth a few times to come to a seat. Good. Any props underneath of you to make you comfortable. Some shoulder shrugs. Let's inhale, shrug the shoulders up. Exhale, just let them drop. In and out through your nose. Inhale up, exhale down. Might feel good to close your eyes, take your time, or go as fast as feels good here. Inhale, shoulders up. Reach your arms up slowly, make fists. Squeeze every muscle in your face, your feet, your belly, your glutes, your arms, everywhere. Squeeze it tight and through your mouth, release your arms down. We'll reverse that, palms up, sweep up. And dynamic twist. Exhale, one hand forward, other hand back. Doesn't matter which side. On an inhale, come back to center, arms up. Exhale, opposite side twist. Good. Keep moving. Start to lengthen from tailbone to crown as you reach the arms up in the center. And keep a little engagement in your core as you twist. Take two more to each side. Maybe coming a little deeper into your twist. Good, then both hands back to center. Exhale, sweep them down into the side, side stretch. Left fingertips walk out. Plant the right sits bone firmly down and right arm up and over. Pause here for a few breaths. Drop your shoulders out of your ears, a micro bend in your right elbow. And send your left rib cage forward. Spin your right rib cage back. Good. Last option, gaze at your armpit, turning your head. And then without moving your chin, reach your eyes up towards your hand. You probably won't be able to see your hand, but just looking upward. Gaze back at neutral, forward and down. We'll switch sides. Right hand plants, left sits bone grounded. Reach up and over, drop your shoulders. If this is the most comfortable place for your neck, then I want you to pause here. Good. If it's available, turning your chin towards your armpit, keep your head where it is, but look up toward your hands. Two more breaths. Gaze forward and down, head neutral, come all the way back up. And hug your elbows in, make fists, palms down, and circles with your knuckles in space. Gently hug the elbows in, and try and make this movement come just from the wrists, almost like the forearm barely moves. Keep breathing, and go the other direction. Good, on an inhale, reach both hands up, spread the fingers wide. Exhale, open and close your hands really fast. Open, close, open, close. Keep breathing. We'll be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, faster, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach. Spread the fingers really wide. Exhale through the mouth. Good, come to hands and knees. And find a few rounds of cat-cow. Good. Patting under the knees like your blanket can help for sensitive knees. Finding this familiar pose and linking that movement to your breath. Take 3 more rounds of breath in cat-cow. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. If down dog isn't available to you, child's pose. Whenever you get there, pedaling out the feet, bending a knee deeply, switching sides. And you can stay right here. We're going to have an optional movement. As we inhale, plank pose, but drop your knees to the earth, tabletop. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really press the earth away to lift your hips. Inhale for tabletop. Maybe this time hover your knees off the earth. And exhale, down dog. Good. Squeeze your inner thighs as you descend. Feel your glutes engage, bottom ribs up and in. And keep moving. We'll take 3 more rounds of breath. Again, down dog or child's pose, great options instead. We'll meet back in down dog. Bend your knees a little bit and walk your hands towards your feet. Move in slow motion like the air was thick around you. And then with the bend in your knees, find ragdoll. Lay your torso over your thighs. You could grab either elbow and rock side to side. Really important here to let your head be really heavy. like the crown of your head had a weight on it, was sinking towards your toes. Releasing your arms when you're ready. On an exhale, squeeze your navel to your spine and roll up, stacking each vertebrae. Shoulders roll up and back at the top. And pause for mountain pose. Good, hands to your hips. And step your right foot forward. And then press the earth away from you with your right foot, step back, mountain pose. Left foot forward, bend both knees. Push off your left foot to come back, mountain pose. Do that a few more times each side. Really pushing off that front foot to step back to mountain. Okay, keep your gaze at neutral out in front of you. That can help with balance. Even out both sides. We'll come back to mountain, step your right foot forward, back heel down, warrior one. Good, bend deeply through your front knee, draw your bottom two ribs up and big elbow circles. Spread every finger and switch the cross of your wrists every time your arms come in front of you. Good, on an inhale, reach both arms up, palms face forward. Exhale, palms come all the way back. Lean your chest a little bit forward here. Good, bring weight into your front heel and weight into your back heel. Roll your shoulders up and back, straighten your arms and press your palms away from you, behind you. Good, 5 full breaths here. Dropping the chin down one space, reach through the bottom tips of the ears to draw the throat back. Again, bottom two ribs up and in, press down through both heels, one more breath. Good, diving, even rounding forward, hands frame your front foot. Back heel high and back knee down. Low lunge. And find a stance where you're kind of on railroad tracks. So front foot to back knee, there's a little space between them. Good, root to rise, climb up your front thigh. Good, and hands can stay on your front thigh if you'd like. We're gonna do a little brain game here. So first we're gonna gaze directly in front of us, eye level. And that's going to be where we hold our gaze. So this time, like we did before, we're going to fix our gaze. And instead of moving our gaze, we're going to move our head. So keep your gaze where it is and just move your head left to right. Again, we're not looking for strain. We're just looking to come to the corner of our vision and then go the other way. Come to neutral. And then rock your head up and down. Keep your gaze where it is. Again, find the bottom of your gaze and the very top of your gaze. Keep breathing. Come back to center. Little bit of a trickier one, diagonal, like you're drawing one line of an X. So choose a direction, keep your gaze, and draw one line of your X with your head. Feel like your nose was drawing in space. Head to neutral, gaze forward, draw the other line of your X, so other direction with your head. Good, gaze at neutral and then forward and down, hands frame your front foot. Lift your back knee and step forward and fold. Good. This time, bring your feet nice and wide, toes out, heels in. Dynamic squat here. So inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Think knees out toward the pinky toes. Any amount, squat down. Inhale, half lift. Gaze forward. Exhale, squat down. Good. Maybe the hands stay on the earth. Keep going. For a little more challenge, hands leave the earth, maybe prayer pose at the heart. We'll do 3 more, your pace. Good, and root to rise, your way will come all the way to stand. Heel toe your feet back to hip distance and drop hands to your sides, mountain pose. Good, catch your breath, feel your heartbeat. And let's walk all the way to the back of our mat so that we're facing our mat. And this time we'll step left foot forward. Back heel down, warrior 1. Good, square the rib cage over your front foot. And again, big elbow circles. Maybe this time you really reach the elbows a little further back to spread across the muscles of the chest. But keep the breath deep in the lower ribs. Switching the cross of your arms as your arms come in front. Little brain game in itself. Good, this time inhale, reach up, palms face forward. Exhale, dive your chest forward as you swing your arms behind you, palms face away. Roll your shoulders up and back, bottom 2 ribs, hug up and in, chin is down. Press through both heels powerfully and reach through your palms. 3 more deep breaths. Drop shoulders from ears, 1 more breath. And dive your arms forward like you're diving down into a pool. Roll down. Hands frame your foot, back heel high, and back knee down. Good, come all the way up, root to rise. Take a few deep breaths in your low lunge. Good, this time we'll bring our arms in front of us. Keep your chin at neutral, but reach your arms up so that your eyes stay connected with your thumbs and you come to the top of your vision. So chin is neutral, head is steady, and the eyes are looking up at the thumbs. Good, keep breathing, squeeze your inner thighs. If this is plenty of work, stay right here, keep gazing at the thumbs. Or gaze at your right thumb and draw the right hand out. Keep your head where it is, just follow with your gaze on your right thumb. Come back to center. Switch gaze to left thumb and open that left hand out. Keep your gaze fixed on your thumb, come back. Just do 2 more to each side. So head is steady. We're just moving our gaze at the uppermost part of our vision. Again, not with strain, you don't have to go all the way. Just enough to feel that those muscles of the eyes are working. When you've evened out both sides, hands back to center. Separate the hands, reach up, little back bend, and exhale, hands down. Good, lift your back knee. Step your right foot forward and fold. Good. Full breath in, full exhale. Bend your knees, hands to your hips, point your elbows back, and firmly press down with your feet, root to rise, stand up tall. Good. Hands down by your sides. Take a moment, close your eyes, soften your gaze, and breathe. Blinking your eyes open slowly, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bent knees, flat back, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, down dog or child's pose. About 5 to 7 breaths of time here. Great time for a rest or a vinyasa if that's in your practice. Any organic movement that you crave, take this time for you. Two more breaths wherever you are. And this transition can be done either from tabletop or down dog. We'll step our right foot to the outside of our right hand, lizard pose. And if you are like me and your knees get sensitive on hardwood floor or your mat, then add a blanket under your back knee at this point. Good. We want to make sure that our front knee is stacked over our front ankle, just for the sake of knowing that our stance is the right length. Back knee is behind the level of our hips. Good. Back toes curled under if it's available. Gently press down through your back toes. Great time for blocks under your hands if the earth is far away. Or you could make fists with your hands as well if your wrists are feeling sensitive. Good. We're just going to create this little action. Flex your right foot and knock your right knee in and out. So see how far in it can come toward your chest. And then how far out it can go, keeping your ankle square. Good. Pause with your foot down, knee over ankle. And then lift your back knee really high, back thigh high. And then lower your back knee, kick your left heel towards your hip. Drop that foot, and again, lift your back knee. Lower your back knee, kick heel to hip. Lower your foot. Little dance here. Keep moving, lifting the back knee and then alternating, kicking your heel in towards your hip. We'll take about 3 more full rounds. Good. Next time, your knees to the earth. Tricky little transition here. Your front foot is going to thread underneath of your body so that your right knee crosses your left knee. Like thinking of your legs crossed like you're sitting like a lady. Only your hands and knees. Good. Hands come down underneath the shoulders and walk your feet a little bit wider apart. Good. Cat and cow. Inhale, drop your belly, and exhale, round your back. Take 3 more rounds. Next, inhale, find a neutral spine. Take a breath. Then separate your knees a little bit. Unthread the needle with right foot meeting the left tabletop, and swish your hips side to side. Good, we're gonna give that left knee a little bit of a break. It's been on the earth for a while. Curl your toes under and straighten your left leg so your toes are at the back of your mat. Bottom two ribs up and in. Really press down through your right toes. Good, you can extend your right hand to the front of your mat. This could be your pose. Or opposite limbs lift. Left leg lifts, right arm lifts. Drop shoulders away from ears and bottom two ribs up and in. Squeeze your inner thighs and lift from the inner thigh on your left. Drop down through your left hip. 2 more breaths. Head is neutral. And hands down, knees down. Make big circles with the hips. Just choose a direction, whatever feels good. And then find child's pose or down dog. Five to 7 breaths of time, optional movement, vinyasas, exploration, or stillness. Wherever you are, connecting with your inhales and exhales, allowing them to be even. Lizard pose, left side. From tabletop or down dog, stepping left foot to outer left hand. Back knee is down to start. Good. Blocks can be great under the hands if you have them, or books. Press down through your right toes, cushioning under that back knee if you need it, and then knock your left knee in and out. So we're just opening that hip, that left hip, by drawing the knee out and in. Just looking for range of motion in this pose. Doesn't have to look like anything in particular. Just adding circulation to this hip. Asking it, what can you do? What can you do comfortably? Find stillness, knee over ankle, press down through your left foot. And we'll find that little dance with the back leg. Inhale as you lift your back knee. Exhale to lower it and kick your right heel in towards your hip. Good, reverse. Inhale to lift the knee. Exhale, lower your knee, kick your heel. Good, go at your pace. See if you can lift that thigh really high and kick that heel in as much as possible. 3 more rounds. Next time your back knee is down, start to heel toe that front foot underneath of your belly. Good, sliding it so that left knee stacks over right. Good, and if that's confusing, just come to tabletop and we'll find cat-cow. If you're in this legs crossed position, walk your feet wider apart, and then find your cat-cow. Notice with the knees crossed, what cat-cow feels like. Where do you feel sensation? How is this different? Taking your time, neutral spine, unravel your legs, tabletop pose. Once you feel stable, bottom two ribs up and in, extend right leg, toes touch the mat to start. Good. From here, our hips are square. When we start to lift our back foot, that hip wants to open toward the wall to our right. See if you can just lift your heel, feel your glute, without opening your hip to the right. Good. Again, options are extend the left arm and right leg. Maybe lift both. Good. Another common thing we see is that the back starts to drop down and we look like we're making a big banana shape. We want to make one long, straight line instead. So bottom ribs up and in, really press the earth away. Feel your core engage. 2 more breaths. Good. Drop hands and knees and take hip circles any direction. Could be the same direction as you chose before. Maybe you just need it that direction. Maybe it's the other way. And we'll all meet in child's pose. If you really need a vinyasa before you get there, feel free. Or if you feel like you've done enough, then go straight to child's pose. Knees can be wide to let the belly drop between thighs. Or if you're looking for more of a low back stretch, knees can be a little closer together to drape the belly over the thighs. Arms take any shape, as long as the shoulders can relax. Starting to melt through the elbows, melt through the center of the forehead. From child's pose, we'll find thread the needle twist. So with arms out in front of you, just walk the hands back towards you just a smidge, just so that there's clearance space underneath of your arms. Hands are still reaching out forward. We'll start with the right hand, lifting the right hand high. Thread the needle under your left arm. Good. Outside of the right shoulder may or may not hit the mat, doesn't matter too much. You can even cradle your head with your left arm. Let both sits bones be grounded back towards your heels. Right arm underneath the left for our thread the needle. Big breaths into your upper back. When you're ready, left hand towards your left shoulder on the mat. Press the earth away. Lift your right arm high. Reversing out. And both hands plant. Good. You can take this thread the needle from child's pose. If that's very uncomfortable, you can find your traditional thread the needle from tabletop. Your choice. Left hand reaches. Left hand dives underneath the right. Again, you can stack your right hand underneath your temples, even a fist under the temple as a pillow. Grounding the sits bones back toward heels and breathing into the back of your lungs. Deep inhale and full body exhale. Right hand under right shoulder to help press your torso back up. Reach that left arm high. And both hands down. Swing your hips to one side of your feet. And start to extend your legs forward, shake them out. Good, we'll come to lay on our right side. So laying on your right side so that you can still face the camera. So spinning around in any way that you need to do that. Coming all the way down, and I think Ashley said this is how she watched TV as a kid. That might be you, maybe not. Kind of just propping yourself up on your elbow. If that's uncomfortable, then just laying your head down on your upper arm. So we're laying on our right side. Left hand can come out in front of us for supports. And straighten your bottom leg. And then bring your left foot out in front of you for supports. Kind of like a little kickstands out in front of you. Left hand, left foot. So straightening the right leg, bottom leg. Flex your right foot. Good. From here, we're going to lift that right whole leg off the earth as high as we can from the hip. And then lower it. Good. That's 1. Lift for 2 and lower. Lift for 3, lower. Lift for 4. Good. Keep going. We're going to do 10 total. 5. We'll do it with you. 6. Inner thighs working. 7. 8. 9. And on the 10th one, hold for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, lift higher, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, come all the way onto your back. Take a moment. Any little movement, knees side to side. And we'll do that on the opposite side. If you need to face me, you can. If you kind of get the gist, it's the same thing. So we'll roll onto the left side. Propping yourself comfortably. You can even use a blanket or pillow under your head if that's the easiest thing. Extending your left or bottom leg once you get there. Right hand out in front of you. Right foot out in front of you. Good. These are just supportive so that we don't kind of fall over onto our back. Relaxing the head in any way that feels comfortable. Flex your left foot, straighten your left leg a lot, and then lift that leg off the earth for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On the 10th, hover that leg, 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, a little higher, 3, 2, and 1. Release and roll onto your back. Take the great stretch. On an exhale, knees to chest. And find happy baby. You'll probably feel good here after the inner thigh work. Might be more like dead bug, reaching the hands to your inner knees, grabbing the outer shins, ankles, or feet. It may feel good to rock side to side. I like to rock to one side and straighten that leg a little bit, not all the way. Rock to the other side, straighten that leg. Start to allow your breath to be soothing. Letting the exhales be longer than the inhales. Finding a natural pause at the bottom of your breath. Releasing your happy baby. Bring both feet to the earth. And find bridge pose. And so squaring the hips comfortably on the earth. Lift and spread every toe. And walk your elbows really close to your ribs. Before we lift our hips, press your elbows down and lift your chest so that your shoulder blades lift off the earth and then draw together and down. Once they're there, set them down on the earth. Feel that lift in the chest. We're going to keep that. Press your feet and elbows down, lift your hips, bridge pose. Good. Lift your chest almost as much as you're lifting your hips. You might walk your elbows even closer to one another. Good. Any binds underneath of the lower back that are available to you, feel free. Yoga mudra behind the lower back if it's comfortable. And skip it if not. Feel a buoyancy from the back of the hips. Feel a length in your breath. Pressing through all four corners of both feet. And softening the tops of your shoulders away from ears. 2 more breaths. Exhaling to lower slowly all the way down, like the air below you is thick. Once your hips have settled, adjust your shoulders and rock knees side to side. Take a deep belly breath in. Pause on full. Sip, sip, sip the air in, really fill in through your mouth. And slowly begin to unwind into your relaxation. Adding any tools, props, comfort that you require to relax. Start to acknowledge a heaviness in your bones. Like with every exhale, your body could pool like water, rippling out to the edges of your mat, the edges of the floor and the wall, melting further and further into rest. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, and to give this moment to yourself. I'll call you back in a little while. Keeping a stillness in your body. Become aware of the space at the center of your chest. Imagine that dwelling there is a soft green light, color of spring grass. Beginning to deepen your breath. Imagine that that green light at the center of your chest starts to expand, growing brighter and wider with every breath. Breathing deeper still, imagine that light circulating the entire torso and arms as you wiggle your fingers and turn your hands. That light emanates to the head where you turn the chin side to side. Breathing deeper, that green light floats down the length of your legs into your toes as you wiggle them and turn your feet. And fully encompassed with that green, gentle light, reaching both arms overhead for the great stretch. And on an exhale, sending that light out to the world, that love, compassion, as you bring your knees to your chest in a gesture of tenderness, of self-love. Gently rock side to side. Take all the time you need to roll into your seat. Whenever you get there, bringing one hand to the center of your chest and one hand to the earth next to you. Closing your eyes and breathing, acknowledging that part of your practice is for you. Part of your practice is for others, in the sense that you show up as your best self for the world because you practice, because you make space in your heart. And that space is wide enough to include everyone and everything. Bringing your hands to touch, gently bow in. And taking a deep breath in and out. I thank each of you for being here. Namaste.